Today I'd like to talk about anxiety. And I'm not talking about the medical definition of anxiety. I'm not a medical practitioner, so I can't comment from that perspective. But I can talk about it from my own experience, and maybe it's something that may resonate with you. Anxiety for me is something that has come up periodically throughout my life and in my business at different periods, and it can really genuinely knock you off course. I don't like to use the term panic attack, but it does tend to kind of come on in a wave, and it can stay for sometimes a short period of time, sometimes it's a longer period of time, sometimes it's days or longer. And my experience with it is that it has always come up when I'm feeling stuck. And not stuck as in I have nowhere to go, but stuck as in I can't turn around and go back. So it's always on the precipice of a change, a massive change in my life or in my business. And these changes are always very uncomfortable. They're scary because you have no experience with this new shift, with where you're going. You don't have anything to kind of relate it to. You haven't gained your footing yet, but you know it's coming and you can't turn around. So it's often comes for me when there is a big shift, not just externally that's coming up, but internally it happens first. The shift happens first inside. And that shift is what tends to bring about, or that feelings of not being able to kind of operate as I have been operating is what tends to kind of trigger these feelings of anxiety. And often when it happens, I don't have a name for what's happening. I don't know what's causing it necessarily right away until I sit with it for a while. And if this is something that has come up for you, if you find that you're struggling with a lot of anxiety, some people like to term it as an upper limit issue. It's when you're making a leap forward into an unknown area, and you know that with that leap, there's going to be big changes in other areas of your life, and there's a fear there in knowing how you're going to manage that. How are you going to deal with it? What is going to change? What is it going to look like? How is it going to feel? Are the things that you have gained security from, are they still going to be there? The people that have been around you, are they going to remain? But really, anxiety is not just fear. It is fear that's mixed with excitement or anticipation. It's like the same feeling that you get, that adrenaline rush that you get when you're excited, except this time there is fear added in. And the fear is just the uncertainty. It is a resistance to the process. So resisting the change that is coming up, wanting to hold on to what you've had, not necessarily wanting things to change, or only wanting them to change in a certain way, being attached to how that looks. And this type of anxiety, this type of shift can go on for a long time if you aren't ready to let go. So if you've wanted a change, but you're very specific about what that change is supposed to look like, and you're attached to how it feels or how you experience it, then you're going to feel a lot of anxiety because you're holding on to two sides of your life, to two aspects of your life, and you're dangling. And that is scary. And it's not a place where anybody can grow unless you let go of one side. And unfortunately, you can't hold on to the past. So even though you may hold tightly, trying to keep that hold there, to keep that aspect going, it's not there anymore. It's an illusion. And then the moving forward part means to actually allow everything that you're feeling. So it's not to resist the anxiety, it's not to fight it off, it's not to, do something about it. So much is what we've, in our business, we believe just take action, just take action. And yes, do take action, but make sure that you check in first. What is that action? What is it that you're scared to move forward with? What is it that you're scared to do? Or are you scared to stop doing? And that question, it changes everything about what you're feeling. It changes everything about your process, because now you're not being dragged through anxiety. You're at the helm. You have a completely different perspective. And that's the gift. That is the gift of having anxiety, because it can shift, and you know that it can shift because there's been a period in your life where you haven't had it, or times where it's not as intense. So something there is different, and it's not just through distraction. It's not just I don't have anxiety because I'm watching a show, or I'm reading a book, or I'm having a talk with a friend. Those are distractions. The anxiety is still there. It's lying beneath the surface, and the instant that the distraction is gone, the anxiety peaks up again. But it doesn't have to stay if you're willing to embrace what's coming, if you're willing to let go of what's no longer operating in your life, which is no longer supported. So how does anxiety affect you? And if you're experiencing anxiety in your business now or in your life now, what do you think it means? What do you think it's trying to tell you? What change is it at the forefront of? I hope that you'll comment below and let me know.